Where'd you come up with that dog shit pick? What the fuck were we thinking? What the fuck were you thinking?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Jimnasium. As always, it is me, XFL Jim. And I'm joined by the man himself. It is Chase, Lupine Fiasco Sessoms, a.k.a. the Wolf of Oaklawn. My man. I'm trying to find one for you. I had one. We're bringing in the boats today. We're bringing them in to harbor of the AP Top 25. I'm ready to get mad. Chase, are you ready to get mad?
Real quick though, unless you're planning on mentioning this later, speaking of boats, we got a new captain of the boat.
Damn right we did. Winning nut.
Yeah, man. Can I saw that tweet and I was like, that's gonna get some attention.
It better.
Yeah. Ken Wisenhut, welcome to the Shodies.
Yeah, and then I forgot the guy's name already, but they got a new GM too.
Good. It was time to shake things up in that organization.
Yeah, they needed it. That organization needed a complete rebuild, and hopefully they're getting it. Hopefully they could get some winning under their belt. That would be nice. Been a lot of losing in Memphis.
Been a lot of losing.
I was when I got up this morning, my alarm, I have it set to Spotify for random songs. Mm-hmm. I was getting walking in Memphis. It made me think of the show, but to be like, I'm losing in Memphis.
It's
can't protect a quarterback for a single down.
They were gonna get someone killed, man. Case Cook was gonna die at some point during this season.
His family needed to watch out for him.
For sure.
Chase, the AP Top 25 is out. I assume there will be some shuffling. There was a decent amount. A couple big G5 upsets and some other ranked team upsets. So let's see receiving votes. 1 vote! Navy. Navy's got one. The receiving votes. They got 1 vote.
Navy put it on Memphis, man.
Yeah, they did, dude.
Yeah, I think they deserve that vote.
Navy, dude, the Navy Army game, if things continue at this trajectory, is going to be awesome.
Going to be a banger. Yeah, probably the best one in how long? At least like.
Who was the so I feel like Navy is doing the thing. They have a stud at quarterback. They always do great when they have a great quarterback. Who was that one in like the mid-20 teens that was just amazing? What was that guy?
Dude, if you're gonna ask me to go back through and name Navy quarterbacks off the top of my head, you're.
Wait.
Because I had news for you.
Keenan Reynolds.
Okay, because I was gonna say I ain't the one.
No, because he played on the Dolphins for a little bit. He was like he played wide receiver in the NFL. He's a stud.
Yeah,
stud. With 2 votes. Congratulations on winning the skillet for the last time in however long. SMU with 2 votes.
Okay, are they undefeated?
No, I don't believe so.
No, who did they lose to?
Did they lose week 1?
I thought they beat Nevada week 1. Or week 0, I guess.
Let's see. SMU football. Beat Nevada. Beat HCU. They lost to BYU.
Okay.
Lost to BYU. With 2 votes as well. Arizona, the Wildcats of Arizona.
And Tataroa.
Yeah, Tataroa
McMillan, yeah.
And Noah Fafita.
There we go. Look at us. Look at us with names. Way to go, us.
Well, are we going to attempt Tennessee when we get to it?
No, absolutely not. This is just going to be Nico.
3 votes for UCF.
Okay, they deserve it as well.
They're pretty good.
They're a pretty good football team.
I think them versus Colorado is going to be a fun game this week.
Ooh, that should be fun. that'd be. I'm probably gonna tune in to see that. I haven't watched KJ with UCF yet, so I'm interested to see what they look like in person.
3 votes, Chase. Following them, your Arkansas Razorbacks with 3 votes.
We don't deserve it. We really don't. No, I don't. Okay.
I have an Arkansas take, and they're a very fun team in the way that, like, I feel like the algorithm has kind of taken over. I feel like Arkansas, you play. I don't know if it's your fault. I'm not gonna blame you guys. You play in some shit games, like that are just like chaos induced badness.
Yeah.
I think you were going to just drag teams down to your level and beat them with a stick.
just get you down.
You're gonna womp them. You're gonna womp somebody down. You're gonna bring them down to the womping pit and get some womping on.
Yeah, womp. Yeah, that's where I thought you were going with that. I could see us being that kind of womping team. I can also see us be that team that like always gets up early and then always gives the game away late.
That's so frustrating.
I think I would say we'd be, deserving of some votes if we do something against like Texas A&M. Like we beat a not good Auburn team though.
It's fair. Hey, you almost beat a maybe pretty good Oklahoma State team.
That's fair. That's fair too.
With 4 votes, it's Libibity.
Get him out of there.
This team, they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna lose a game, even potentially, until they play like Western Kentucky.
Until they're the 12 seed and the playoff.
No. We got Boise State. We're fine. No Liberty. Please, anyone but Liberty. I pray. Dude,
who do you pray to keep Liberty
Satan.
out of something? Satan.
Or like the real
definitely
Jesus.
Satan.
Or real Jesus.
Non-Liberty Jesus.
I hope, as bad as they've looked these past few weeks, I really hope App State does something. But I just don't feel it.
No, dude. Did you watch any of that South Alabama game?
They're bad.
They got roughed up, dude. That was they can't stop the run to save their lives.
App State does not have the juice.
I was worried when I saw the video of that guy trying to brain that other dude.
We talked about it when that happened. It can either go really, really good for him or really, really bad, and it's been really bad.
Looks like it's been really bad.
With 7 votes, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
No.
With 11 votes, I'm surprised they're not ranked. James Madison.
Dude. Rank James Madison.
Losing your staff and a bunch of players like that and bringing in a whole new system and still doing things like this.
That's an absurd amount of points scored in that game.
That's crazy.
100. We'll talk about it later, but it's 120 points.
They hit the total by themselves at halftime.
Jesus Christ.
With 24 votes, it's the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Okay, I'm glad.
Dude,
I'm glad they're a team. For me, they're a team that needs to earn their way back into the top 25. So as long as they keep winning, they'll end up in.
I do have an announcement on the Hawkeyes for me. I am out on Cade McNamara as being anything but a bad quarterback.
He doesn't seem great. I wonder, man, what sort of NIL money do you think they would have to truck out to get a good quarterback at Iowa?
They've had, I don't even know. So good, I don't even think is necessary. Just not shit would do so much for this team.
Because they've had nothing but just bad quarterback play for 3 years now, at least.
It's been since the 2020s.
Yeah.
It's been bad, really bad. At 25, receiving 25 votes, my Nebraska Cornhuskers. I'm glad they're not ranked anymore.
We'll keep them hungry. It was a tough loss.
It was a good game. It was a good game. We had our shots. Illinois, I think, is a legitimately good team. Bert's cooking right now.
Bert is cooking. He's in his full on he looks like old Butthead from Beavis and Butthead so much. And it's just he's in his full like buttheadness right now, and it's pretty glorious to see.
He's one of the goofier looking people on the planet, and I love it.
Yeah, man. But still managed to pull a smoke show wife.
Yes. I just figured out my dream playoff scenario, if it could somehow happen, would be Illinois versus Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
Two of the goofier looking head coaches.
It'd be like watching two like Humpty Dumptys like meet it at the 50-yard line before the game.
37 votes for Pittsburgh. The Panthers, quiet. They're a quiet team right now.
Rank Pitt, man, can they put up some points too?
They're dangerous. Rank 53 votes. UNLV.
Rank the Rebels.
I guarantee these next two of okay. There's one I'm really mad about that's not ranked, but we'll get to that one. Rank the Rebels though. Them versus Boise State, probably for the Mountain West title, will be a banger.
I mean, because consider what it could mean,
It's a potential playoff game. I love that a bunch of these we'll talk about it more when we do the college recap here in a bit. A lot of these G5 games had legitimate playoff implications, which in September I think is awesome.
That is pretty sweet. Yeah.
55 votes for Boston College.
Yeah, I think that's about where this should be.
63 votes for Indiana. I'd say rank Indiana.
I think anytime Indiana is remotely good enough to be like sniffing around the top 25, that like you have to be a bold human being and you have to fucking rank Indiana.
Because how many opportunities do you get to rank Indiana?
Not many. Very rarely do they sniff around the top 25. So yeah, anytime they just get a little bit closer, it's like, all right, come on in, buddy. We got you.
And with 67 votes, I'm surprised this team's not ranked. One of the most fun teams to be rooting for in the country. It's Washington State.
Yeah. They've had
Who's
a big
not
win
rooting
against
for this
Washington.
team?
I don't know. Everyone's going to be rooting for the 2-pack at this point.
And, did you watch any of them versus San Jose State?
I didn't see any of it, no.
That game was a fucking clusterfuck of crazy.
I know I was on the over there, and cha-ching. Yeah.
That hit. Easy.
Very easily.
That was it was beautiful. Okay, Chase, at 25, Boise State.
Makes sense. That seems to be about appropriately ranked. I could see them being ranked a little bit higher, but I think that at this time of year, that's about as high as you're going to get a group of 5 team.
And we will see, because they play Washington State this week. That'll be a good game.
That will be a very good game. That's a future conference game.
Yeah,
right?
It is. Future Pac-12 game.
Yeah.
24, Texas A&M.
I'm not sure what they did to get ranked, and I don't know. I guess another team lost, so that's what made them move up one slot, because
I think they were ranked last week. They were at 25 last week, and they just jumped up. It's whatever.
I don't understand. We'll see. I guess we'll figure it out whenever they play Arkansas this weekend.
A lot on the line this week. This is always a weird game. I'm excited I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll see.
At 23,
I don't have very much hope.
At 23, falling 10 spots, it is the Kansas State Wildcats.
Oof.
I don't know if I have a buddy who's a big K-State fan. He says they shouldn't be ranked. And maybe after a loss like that, maybe you shouldn't. But you know something? Maybe I was a year early. But I believe in this BYU team, dude. This team is fucking fun.
Yeah. It's amazing just how much Big 12 football is out there and going on and considering I've watched a whole bunch of Big 12 football, but I've yet to see a BYU game. You know what I mean?
Dude, this is the first year in a long time where I feel like there's more games than I can keep track of. I felt like in years past, we've had a good eye being okay, we're keeping track of all the games that are really close and important and happening.
Yeah.
I feel like this year, what was it? Up until this week, I hadn't watched any of Washington State. I caught this BYU game, but that's the first time I've watched BYU.
Like
There's
I
just
haven't
so
watched.
much good football.
I haven't watched Colorado yet. I haven't watched.
I haven't watched Clemson since the Georgia game, and they've just been
Same here.
destroying fools.
Same here. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how much is going on. Please continue.
At 22, BYU entering the top 25. Well deserved.
So I guess what it means now is I'll make a point to be watching these games.
There's just so many. There's so many games to watch, dude. Like, we'll get to it when we get to the team, but like Missouri Vanderbilt, who knew that was supposed to be a game that we were supposed to watch?
Yeah, I caught the tail end of that. I was flipping through channels. I was watching Ohio and Kentucky. That's the kind of games I've been watching lately. Yeah, no, that was bonkers.
At 21, falling 6 spots, it is the Oklahoma Sooners.
I think that's a deserved fall.
I think Oklahoma's defense is good. I think their offense is.
Yeah, but you lose, you should fall like that.
Oh yeah, because they lost decidedly.
Yeah.
At number 20, the other Oklahoma team is the Oklahoma State Cowboys, falling 6 spots to number 20.
And they just barely won, right?
No, they lost to Utah.
They lost. That's right. That's right. I'm sorry, because I had Utah on the money line there.
They lost to Utah without Cam Rising. So
yeah,
we
they
just
had is it Ethan or Ian something?
No, it was Isaac. Isaac. Because it was Zach's little brother.
Wilson.
Yeah, Isaac Wilson. Zach Wilson's little brother.
Yeah, look at that, getting the job done.
I feel like at this point we just can never assume that Cam Rising's starting a football game ever.
No,
because they were doing a will he won't he. He warmed up and then it was not him. I until he takes the first snap, I'm done thinking he's going to start.
He's like the starting like Loch Ness monster. Like it's going to take like a misty day over the field at BYU for you guys to have like to have a Cam Rising appearance.
At number 19, well deserved, I think, up 5 spots. Illinois.
You beat another ranked team. A couple other teams lost. You might as well jump.
Get them up there. They're solid. Big week. They play at Penn State coming up.
Man, I feel like they might get monstered by Penn State.
I'm worried they might. I'm liking that they're not jumping from unranked to ranked here, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am worried that Penn State's going to unlock fully.
Quite possibly.
At number 18, rising 2 spots, the Iowa State Cyclones. Watch out for Iowa State, people.
Sneaky good. I mean, even their win against Iowa was sneaky. Like it's everything about this team is sneaky, I think.
I hope they sneak their way into the Big 12 championship game.
I'd like to see it.
They could. I mean, K-State losing the way they did. That's the other favorite.
And I feel like it would be adequately just not even a little bit kind of rowdy in Ames.
Oh, it would. It really would.
It would really have just kind of a vibe to it.
It'd have a really weird vibe. Ames has a weird vibe that's just fun to see on TV.
Yeah.
At number 17, rising 4 spots, the Clemson Tigers.
I guess they deserve to be back in it. They might be a little bit better than I gave them credit for.
So I think this is tough because we haven't. So they've played potentially the best team in the country in Georgia, and then an App State team who is maybe not even going to make a bowl game at this point.
No.
And an NC State team who is currently imploding.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we know anything about Clemson right now. They play Stanford coming up. Maybe that tells us a little bit more.
True.
I am intrigued to see Clemson. I want them against a team like a Miami, maybe.
I think that would tell a lot. I think even a game against a Syracuse even might tell a lot because it's not like Kyle McCord hasn't been cooking.
No, I mean he played not great against Stanford, but Stanford's weird like that.
True.
But yeah, Clemson, I don't know, because they got bodied by Georgia and then have literally been putting it on teams.
Yeah, but like you pointed out, all teams that have just like serious flaws.
True. At number 16, speaking of serious flaws, Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They look like this week.
Pretty much.
At number 15, we talked about Iowa State being a sneaky team. Number 15, Louisville. Talk about sneaky.
I've known the whole time, Jim. This is my sweetheart to win the ACC. Let's see Clemson play against Louisville. You know, like that. Then you'd learn something about Clemson, because I think this is a really good football team with Louisville.
You know who Louisville is playing this week is Notre Dame.
I think they beat Notre Dame. I think they beat Notre Dame, dude.
I think they do too. At number 14, LSU.
Does that feel a little bit overrated to you?
A little bit. I don't feel like this team is actually that good.
Like, what have they really earned so far?
They have an offense that I think is actually good. Like a good offense. Not great like it was last year. Defense, still not up to snuff. You better dominate against South Alabama if you want me to believe in you.
Oh, and I just saw Harold Perkins is out for the season.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that doesn't help that defense out at all.
No. Number 13, USC Trojans.
Can't believe they gave that game up against Michigan.
That was like some vintage USC defense for parts of that game. Could not tackle, could not do a lot. Credit to Michigan. You have a quarterback that doesn't even throw for 100 yards and you win that game. I still think USC's a pretty damn good team.
I think so too. I think they're loaded with skill at the perimeter. They have really, really good pass catching wide receivers who will just go up and snag it with one hand. I kind of just figured that there was no way that Michigan could produce that much offense. But if you go back to old-fashioned USC defense, then
just run the ball.
Yep.
Michigan rose 6 spots from that win.
I think they deserve to move up. I think
so too.
Yeah.
I have the same thing with Michigan. This is why I think Michigan deserves to be here. Because unlike Clemson, they showed it against a team like USC. Like, yeah, they got dog walked by Texas. But if you could beat a team like USC, who I think is pretty darn good, like, Michigan could still go, like, 9-3. And it would not shock me.
9-3 and be just on the outside of making the playoff.
Yeah, 9-3 would be them losing to, like, Oregon and Ohio State the rest of the way. Worst case scenario, I think, for them is 8-4 if a team like Illinois jumps up and gets them.
Yeah.
But I think 9-3 is the probable trajectory for Michigan.
And they feel so entitled now after last year that's going to suck for them so hard.
It'll either suck or they'll still be like, well, fuck it, we won a natty. Who cares?
I don't know. I think once you hit that point, like you just want more.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Chase at number 11, falling 4 spots with a win. At 11, we have the Missouri Tigers.
They almost got it. They almost got picked off but they almost got Pavia'd. Yeah. Man, that poor kicker at the end. There are only how many good kickers walking the face of the planet at any given time, Jim?
And most of them aren't in college.
Most of them are not in college, and there are only, 7 on the planet Earth?
Yeah, there's like 7 total. Missouri, so we've talked about it before. Missouri has like a very easy path for a very nice season and probably the playoffs. You can't be playing games like they had this week against Vanderbilt and last week against Boston College.
No, they definitely seem to be playing down to some teams. Like, it seems like once they got past, the cupcake part of their schedule, that they really started playing down to whoever they were playing.
It feels that way. So they have a bye this week. Their next game is at Texas A&M. Big game.
See, that could get ugly for them if that turns into a rock fight.
I agree. At number 10, jumping up 2 spots, Utah, baby!
Yeah, they deserve for the jump.
They do.
Beating
Kyle
the-
Whittingham, top 3 coach in college football, I think.
Year in, year out, like if you were to look at him over the long term, I'd say so.
Might be, dude. He's so good.
He is, man. Just in long tenured and just runs a program.
I'm gonna be sad when he retires in like a year or two. At number 9, Penn State.
They're so good, but James Franklin.
And
Doesn't it just feel that way? Like they're so good, but you just know it's coming.
It's the same thing with another team that we'll talk about higher up, but like Penn State does this. They dominate teams. Like they played Kent State. They dominate.
Yeah.
They absolutely obliterate these teams. And then their season doesn't matter until they play a team. I guess this year, if they play like USC or Michigan or Ohio State, you got to win these games. Like those are the only ones on Penn State's schedule that really matter.
They are, and God, but James Franklin.
That's exactly. At number 8, Oregon. They've turned it back on.
Yeah, they have. They started with the Oregon State game. They really turned it back on.
And they got UCLA this upcoming week, so that ain't stopping anytime soon.
They'll get to be even more turned on then at this point.
At number 7, Miami Hurricanes.
What can I might have to disagree with Uncle Rico. I think Cam Ward might actually be pretty good.
I think Cam Ward might be pretty darn good. I don't know if he's like an NFL kind of guy, but I think in college Cam Ward he's
I think
good.
he could still get away with some of that stuff that Uncle Rico's calling him out for.
And Miami, the path before them is laid out. This team's good. They're easily right now the favorite for the ACC.
But Mario Cristobal.
Like we said with James Franklin, but Mario Cristobal. At some point, though, you put a roster together so good, and if you get a good enough quarterback, maybe it's coach-proof.
I guess, yeah, a good quarterback can really hide just really poor coaching when it comes in big spots.
Yeah, your game time decisions don't matter if you're up by 30 in all these games.
That's true. That's true.
At number 6, actually dropping out of the top 5, it's Ole Miss.
Did they just not beat ass as thoroughly as they needed to?
No, I mean, so it's the same thing. So the team that did take their spot beat a real team, and Ole Miss hasn't played a real team yet.
That's fair.
And in your mind, Ole Miss still won't play a real team because they play Kentucky this week.
Oh, God. No. Yeah.
At number 5, the team who beat a real team, the Tennessee Volunteers.
I think they're going to the playoff, Jim.
They're a fucking wagon, dude.
They are a wagon.
I've watched 2 Tennessee games now. I've watched a blowout, and then I watched them kind of dominate Oklahoma. I'm calling it right now. Fat Josh Heupel, this Tennessee Volunteers team, I don't know if they're the best team in the country. They are maybe the most fun team in the country right now. The defense is great. The way they're playing offense is so fun. Nico is magical.
Dude, I wonder how because we'll talk about Georgia, but I still wonder how they match up against Georgia. Like what, you know what I'm talking about? Like Georgia's defense is so good. It's so good. Will that offense stand up, and would their offense be able to, or their defense be able to stand up to that run game? Do you think?
I think their defense will, because they're strong up front. They're strong up front. So their schedule is not easy.
No, it's not.
Because they still have Alabama and at Georgia. But
yeah, that's tough.
God, I think they could knock off one of these teams.
I think they could knock one of them off. It's just, oh man.
Even if they lose to both, they still might be alive for the playoffs.
If they just lose those 2 games?
Yeah, so like they have a bye this week, then they're at your Arkansas Razorbacks after that.
Yeah, that's a dub for them.
Then they get Florida at home. That's
a dub.
Then they get Alabama at home. That's a great game.
That's a really good football game. TBD.
Another bye week. Kentucky at home.
Oh.
Mississippi State at home.
Oh, yeah.
At Georgia. Great game.
Good football game.
Great game, especially mid-November. Oh, there'll be a lot on the line.
Then it's a really good football game.
Then it's UTEP at Vandy.
The nice little reward for playing. Nice little dessert after playing Georgia.
This team, I think, Chase, you nailed it. I think they're going to the playoffs.
I think they're going. I think you're right. I think they could go 10-2, and they could be the third team out of the SEC in the playoff.
At number 4, it's Alabama.
They deserve to be where they are.
Dude, Alabama, Georgia this week?
We're going to find out a whole lot.
Game of the week, easily, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Potential game of the year coming up.
Yeah.
Always a banger. At number 3, Ohio State. I'm still waiting on Ohio State to play a real team. They play Michigan State coming up. That's at least better.
It's a better... Yeah, it's because they've just been monster and MAC teams, it seems.
Yeah, and Marshall. Marshall in there.
I thought they were going to get game day weirdly from Marshall.
I would have been pissed. I'm upset Cal didn't win against Florida State because then there was a chance that game day could go to Cal for a week.
That would have been nice.
At number 2, Georgia, no change.
Yep.
And at number 1, Georgia. Texas. Arch Manning looked good, but still 2 interceptions. I think Quinn Ewers definitely is the dude.
Yeah, but they're not in a hurry for him to be the dude. He's just literally going to be a caretaker for at least one more game. He might not even be a next game.
No, I think you'll get Arch for next game against Mississippi State, and then Quinn will probably be back for Oklahoma.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. And if he just has to be that good, but 2 interceptions against ULM, that's concerning.
That's a little concerning. Now, going through the last week in total of college football, Chase, we're going to take a look at some games. You mentioned it earlier, South Alabama 48, App State 14.
Just got pushed around, completely pushed around. South Alabama was just resetting the line of scrimmage 2 or 3 yards down the field every single time, and they were running untouched.
Long are the days since App State was playing in instant classics. They are getting blasted in these games now.
Yeah, it all is because that kid hit that one kid with his helmet.
You got to think with a school like App State, how long until a coach is on the hot seat there with what they expect? Because they expect to be really competing for the Sun Belt year in, year out.
I think so too. What kind of coach do you draw if you're App State? You definitely you're not pulling anybody down. You really have to have a good feeling about somebody that you're pulling up from being a coordinator or something. I think you end up keeping coaches for longer than you have to because it takes a while to identify that dude that you're willing to dump someone for.
I think so too, because a school like that, you kind of have to hit the good hire.
Yeah, man.
Stanford 26 on Friday. Stanford 26, Syracuse 24. Stanford does this, dude. They play these weird games.
Yeah, this is my first chance getting to watch Stanford, and it just seems like they really have just one guy. Kinda. Yeah.
They're just a weird team. They're
just a weird team.
Illinois 31, Nebraska 24.
Did this go to OT?
It went to OT. And as soon as it did, I knew we would lose.
I had that feeling. When Arkansas and Oklahoma State went into OT.
Chase, I have the stats to back it up. Nebraska, this is now marks 8 consecutive overtimes that Nebraska has lost.
Oh, man. You guys
not only that, 8 consecutive overtimes that Nebraska Cornhuskers have failed to score a point.
Damn.
Not only that, 8 consecutive overtimes that the Nebraska Cornhuskers have failed to get a first down.
Damn. That's unfortunate.
That seems like a statistical anomaly.
It does. It seems like at some point, because that's through multiple coaching.
The last time Nebraska had won an overtime game or done anything was 2014.
Damn. That hurts.
There's other streaks on deck here too. This continues to add to the 1 score loss tally mark that we are on. Also, this marks 25 matches in a row of Nebraska losing to ranked opponents.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, and see it's crazy. See, whenever you have things like that transcend coaching staffs that like go back from like through a couple of different administrations.
Three coaching staffs.
Like when you
four now. Four now.
Yeah, it's just like there's no other way to explain it other than you were just absolutely cursed.
Yeah,
like you did something to piss off some deity.
There were some positives to take away from this game. So this was Rayola's first start against a real team. I think he still looked pretty good. Obviously, he made some rookie mistakes. I was disappointed with the defense, but I think Illinois came out with a really solid plan. I think they're very well coached. I think they're a solid team. And, make some kicks. And I would also say in the overtime itself, I understand it was a 3rd and 42. Kind of hard to make something out of that. But I do believe there was a late hit out of bounds that should have been called and given us a first down.
Yeah. No, I saw that. God, I forgot how much yardage they'd lost.
Yeah, 3rd and 42.
How did they even? Because there was a really deep sack. There was a penalty.
Penalties, deep sacks. It was a combination of things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was a lot. And then next week, it's Rayola's first start on the road in conference, and it's against Purdue. So we'll see. We'll see.
At least it's Purdue.
It's nice to now not have the expectations I had a week ago.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Nice.
The pressure's been lifted at this point.
It's nice. Now we're still just fighting for a bowl. Like that's still the goal. Fight for a bowl.
That's the kind of scrappy that you want to be.
Washington State 54, San Jose State 52.
That's a lot of points, Jim.
Chase, this was on the CW for those of you.
That's right. It was on the CW. Did you get to check out the CW broadcast? How was that?
I caught a little bit of it, but I had it on mute, so I didn't actually get to listen to the broadcast.
Next time I'm gonna have to get your honest opinion of the CW broadcast team.
You can get my honest opinion on this. Army 37, Rice 14. I will say it here for the people. I was wrong about Rice. This team sucks.
They're really bad.
This team fucking sucks, dude. I made a bet on Rice to win the conference.
The conference, yeah.
My two worst bets were probably Wyoming and Rice.
Yeah, but at least we were all high on
I don't
Wyoming.
know what I saw in this Rice. Like they have seen.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
What the hell were you thinking with Rice?
I don't think I learned anything from last year when every time we would bet on Rice, we'd be on the wrong side of it, no matter how we bet it.
Yeah.
I did it for a season-long bet. And
now you're constantly on the wrong side of it.
Yeah,
so they're completely unvictorious at this point.
Yep, at this point, Rice might just go defeated.
Yeah.
Which, it's very fitting, because I think I didn't win I bet them like 6 or 7 times last year and lost every bet. And now I've just made a win totals bet and a futures bet. There's no shot they're going to win anything.
No, that's completely boned.
Indiana 52, Charlotte 14. Just want to mention that one. Disrespect Biff Poggi all you want. Indiana is legit. They're fun.
Yeah.
This team is fun.
JMU West, you mean?
Mm-hmm. I love them.
Yeah. JMU West is getting it done.
Talk to your kids about a potential 9-win Indiana.
Man. I'm not sure if I want to. I'm not sure if I can, Jim. I don't know if I have the words.
Talk to your kids about a potential 9-win Indiana who, while they're on the way to that, might be getting some steam for the playoffs, which would be beautiful. James Madison 70, North Carolina 50.
Oh my God. How does this happen? How do you let this happen? How?
Gene Chizik's defense wasn't this bad.
No. How for one, how are 120 points scored in this football game? But two, how do you allow 70 of it?
How do you allow James Madison, who was a good team, 70 points though? Like, I understand North Carolina. You could lose to a G5. You could lose to a good G5 like JMU. If you're gonna lose to them like 30-28.
Don't give up 10 touchdowns.
Don't give up 10 touchdowns.
Just here's a thought. Don't give up 10 touchdowns. And then definitely after you give up 10 touchdowns, definitely don't go into the locker room and then talk to the team and say, if I'm not getting the job, if you don't think I can get the job done, then I'll go ahead and resign, to a bunch of kids who are, whenever you're like 76 years old. Because I bet you there were some kids who were like, hey, I don't think you can get the job done. I think you're too old.
Yeah.
And that's why he was like, I was just kidding. I take that back.
He's so old. He's too old.
He's too old. That's what it comes down to. Like, I think you could be this old and be like a basketball coach, but I feel like when it gets to being like a football coach, like this is when there's just so much to manage that, like,
Chase,
you know,
it was 53-21 at half.
Jeez, how about don't let JMU hang up 50 points at halftime?
How about you don't let Alonzo Barnett III go 22 for 34 for 388 yards and 5 touchdowns? Through the air, also 13 carries for 99 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Oh, so he accounted for 7 of the 10 touchdowns. God, maybe shut that guy down. Maybe worry about him.
Mac Brown right now, the only thing he is a trivia question. He's an answer to a trivia question.
Of what the hell happened to North Carolina?
No, it's the fun trivia question. Like, hey, there are 3 active college football coaches who have all won a national championship. Who are the 3?
Yeah, he's always the oddball one.
He's the one that everyone forgets because it was over a decade ago.
Yeah. God, he's so old.
Clemson 59, NC State 35. The NC State thing, like, they're toast this year. They're done.
Yeah, there he is. There's our boy NASCAR.
They're my boy NASCAR, my man. NC State's done.
Yeah, how did they end up so bad? Like, Grayson McCall is like a good get in the transfer portal, you would think.
He didn't even play this game.
I don't get it. What went wrong, Jim? What went wrong with NC State?
I think
everyone was high on NC State.
Their defense is also not good, which is one of the crazier parts for me.
True.
Clay, if you let Cade Klubnik go 16 for 24 for 209 and 3 tutties in like a half.
A half? Oh, man.
Basically a half. Because he pulled, like, Clemson was playing their backups, dude.
So I want to see Clemson play a real team. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, the only thing, we've seen him play 2 bad teams, and then we've seen him play potentially the best team in the country.
Yeah, like let's see them play like another real team, like, and see if they have as much trouble as they did with Georgia.
Oh, NASCAR, did you see Archman? We did. He looked fine.
Oh, okay.
West Virginia 32, Kansas 28.
You called that one, I think.
I did. I think Jalen Daniels is not as good as we thought.
No, I don't think he is.
And I think Eric was 100% right that Kansas very much misses Andy Kotelnicki, the OC.
I think that's probably right too, because the play calling doesn't. It's like all the plays seem to be like screens and everything. Whereas it seemed like they at least had some downfield passing last year.
Also, and this is just me and my bias, no more Jason Bean. Jason Bean ain't losing these games. Jason Bean is not losing these games.
It's possible. I don't know. They still have a lot of their weapons too. Like that one dude, Luke Grimm. He's still
they
there.
have weapons.
Like,
I just think Jalen Daniels, like he's been playing not great. Like legitimately, his turnovers have been bad.
he seems like a little bit like maybe they need to focus on running the ball with him a little bit.
Yeah, they haven't really worked on. Yeah, he's a good runner. They should. I mean, maybe they're worried about him getting hurt again, but you can't play scared, especially if you're Kansas.
No, not at this point.
Central Michigan 37, Ball State 34. Let's go.
Way to go, Central Mich.
Virginia 43, Coastal Carolina 24. Just wanted to mention this one because I thought this one was going to be way closer. Good win, Virginia. That's a good win. Because Coastal's we think Coastal's decent, right? Like a decent G5?
Because the Tim Beck effect hasn't Tim Becked yet. So, like, we don't know when the Tim Beck is going to happen, I think is the issue.
It might have just happened.
You think so?
Maybe. I mean, we'll see. The Tim Beck thing would be them losing to a team that's worse than them, and I think Virginia's right on the same level.
So, like, are they about to go on, like, a run of Tim Beckings?
Maybe.
Okay.
Iowa State 52, Arkansas State 7. I just want to mention this. That's winning like this for Iowa State, this crazy a margin.
Yeah.
Good win.
What do we know about Arkansas State?
Nothing. Again, we're entering week 5. This is when their season really begins.
Yeah. They played a not bad game against Michigan.
Yeah. I don't get this team. Arkansas State's a conundrum. They're an anomaly.
Yeah.
Eastern Michigan 36, St. Francis U 0. Just another directional Mich representing.
There we go. Directional Mich win.
LSU 34, UCLA 17. This was 17-17 and a half.
You got to win this game better, LSU.
Yeah, this is not a good look for LSU winning this game by 17 points. Hey, the defense shut them down in the second half, so that's a good look. You got to dominate. This UCLA team might be the worst team in probably not P4. They're probably the worst team in the Big Ten though.
Yeah, they're probably that bad. And I mean, Indiana just went out there and put it on. Like they should have gotten it put on them traveling into Death Valley on a day that was hot as balls too. Yep. I don't get it. I don't understand how they did. LSU win better.
I understand this is an FCS opponent, but Pitt scored 73 points against Youngstown State.
Was it Eli Holstein? Is that his name?
Yeah, Holstein, baby.
Gunslinger out there. Look out.
Michigan 27, USC 24. Michigan did this without getting 100 yards through the air.
That's just like Jim Harbaugh was somewhere smiling watching that game.
You want to hear Alex Orgy's stats?
Let's hear him.
His passing stats?
Let's hear him.
He went 7 for 12 for 32 yards.
That's tough football to watch.
Khalil Mullings, 17 rushes for 159 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Now that's explosive. The non-passing part, that's just tough to watch, dude.
Yeah, just don't even try. Just run. If I'm Michigan, just put Alex Orgy. Just run an option offense.
Why not? Go for it.
Do it. You have the dudes. Who cares?
Make throwing the ball your trick play like Air Force does.
Right? I would love that. Navy 56, Memphis 44.
Memphis, we thought you was a contender. What happened to you, man?
Not defense, I'll tell you that.
Not defense. Man, and this just makes me wonder, like, how bad is Florida State?
So, to be fair, this is probably a letdown spot, crazy letdown spot for Memphis. I don't understand how you let Navy team score 56.
No, man. I guess you just weren't prepared for the option at all.
I guess not. So Navy put 566 yards on them. Memphis still led in yards. 361 yards rushing for Navy at 10.7 yards per play. If a service academy is getting almost a first down every play,
yeah,
Pretty
getting
bad.
a little more than a first down every play. That's tough. That's hard to handle. That's not a winning strategy typically.
Dude, Memphis even had more time of possession. This is a whole... Okay, I'm looking at the team stat lines right now. This is a total UFL stat system right here. Memphis led in total yards, passing yards, and time of possession. And they lose the game.
So it's the old UFL curse, the old UFL trifecta. If you have more yards, more time of possession, and at some point more points, you're probably going to lose the football.
Memphis
game.
almost ran double the plays that Navy did.
Jesus Christ.
95 plays to 53.
Man, I love how the service academies play football, dude.
I'm so excited, dude. I'm so excited for Navy Army. Arkansas 24, Auburn 14. You want to talk about how stupid this game was?
It was pretty absurd. It got real dumb. I mean, I want to say there was a total of 7 turnovers in this game.
I believe so.
So how much of this dumb game did you watch?
There were 7 total. I caught a little bit of this one. So this is when I was coming back from the pumpkin patch.
Oh, did you go take photos of the pumpkin patch?
We did take some photos of the pumpkin patch. I caught the end of this one. And I kind of like caught you tweeting it. And I just caught people tweeting it. It just seemed stupid. It felt like Arkansas was trying to give the game away. But Auburn is just the worst.
Yeah, no one wanted to win, and someone just didn't want to win harder than the other team, and it turned out to be Auburn that day. My God, like we got multiple Auburn quarterbacks through it. There was a crying, like balding ginger Chris Farley, Auburn frat boy.
Yeah, there was.
Just is the most delectable thing that I've seen, and I don't know how long.
I don't know.
Crying real tears.
At this point, I feel like... So we've seen both guys. We saw Hank Brown. I feel like you almost have to go with Peyton Thorne, and that tells you all you need to know about Auburn's situation.
Yeah.
That Peyton Thorne is your best option.
It's like Forrest Gump when he's like, that's really all I have to say about that. And, yeah, I don't know what this Arkansas team is yet. Like,
scrappy. You could be scrappy.
If they beat this Texas A&M team coming up, like I think they could be kind of good. Right now I still think that we're like 5-7, maybe 6-6.
Dude, fight! Hey, just like me, fighting for a bowl.
Just fighting for a bowl.
The goal is a bowl, Chase. For you, me, and Eric, our teams, the goal is the bowl.
The goal is the bowl.
Also, I just wanted to let the people know that tweet I sent you. The winningest head coach since Gus Malzahn is Carnell Williams, Cadillac.
Oh, when he was the interim?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. I'm glad that they've had such a run of bad luck after they just like blatantly cheated for decades.
They're still doing it now, but it's just not working.
Yep.
NASCAR's right. Can't lie, these college football games have either been straight blowouts or fucking entertainment. God, they have been.
Mm-hmm.
God, they have been. Louisville 31, Georgia Tech 19.
This was a little bit closer than I thought it would be, but still.
I think Georgia Tech's a good team, though.
I think so, too. Haynes King is a good quarterback, but this Louisville team, man, not only that, they're fast. It's a fast Louisville team. The sneaky fast, like their name is JoJo or something, you know?
I like that. Penn State 56, Kent State 0, classic Penn State, whatever. Yeah. How many yards do we think Penn State had on them?
500. Easily. 500.
Let's see. Pull up the team stats here. Chase, you're off.
600.
718 yards for Penn State versus total yardage for Kent State, 67.
How they got that 67, we'll never know.
We will never, ever know. Rutgers 26, Virginia Tech 23.
Let's go, Rutgers.
Watch out for Rutgers. Let's go. Clap it up for Graciano and Rutgers.
They are a feisty team, man.
Rank Rutgers.
They're going to win a few more ball games. I think if they go on a little streak, they'll be ranked.
I think so, too. This team's dangerous. I like where they're at right now. Virginia Tech, you're still working. Because this was kind of the same thing where they played Vanderbilt, where they let the other team get away from them and then tried to claw their way back and just weren't able to do it in time.
Right.
Buffalo 23, Northern Illinois 20. The MAC does it again. I will say this till I am blue in the face. What you do out of conference, it doesn't matter who you upset. It doesn't matter how you look. MAC play hits different.
Me and Uncle Rico both didn't take this game, but were like all over this game. Like we definitely thought that Buffalo had a chance to cover in this one, but man, they did the whole job against Northern Illinois,
thus ruining any chance that the MAC has at the playoff. That was a fun while it lasted, but guess what? MAC is still crazy and chaotic.
It's truth.
Utah 22, Oklahoma State 19 without Cam Rising. Big win. Utah's defense just manhandled them. Also, I mean, I'll mention this to Eric too. I might give him a little guff for it. Ollie Gordon.
What the hell? What the hell happened?
Where are we at with this? He's not doing anything.
No. He reminds me of like Sean Alexander, like in fantasy football, like that year that he like absolutely blew up, and then like the very next year he just like it was.
He
like
probably should have left.
Yeah.
Like this is hurting his draft stock.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough for Ollie, especially as a running back.
Missouri 30, Vanderbilt 27 in double overtime.
I can't believe it got there, but somehow it did.
Dude, like the whole thing is Diego Pavia. Watch Vanderbilt just for that alone.
Yeah,
it's worth it.
And their stadium is a unfinished construction site.
That too. Also, like Missouri's playing with their food. We talked about it earlier. Play it down.
Yeah, they play down to whoever they're playing against, it seems. So we'll see. Someone's going to jump up and nip Missouri.
SMU 66, TCU 42.
Just a good old-fashioned battle for an iron skillet.
A battle for the iron skillet, which SMU dominated and will have the reigning champion logo for a while, because I think they're not playing this for a hot minute.
Oh, since they're in different conferences now?
Well, I think TCU just won. Like SMU wanted to keep it alive when they joined the ACC, and TCU I think just killed it.
Okay, that seems petty. That seems
fitting
really catty.
for SMU to win. Also, Sonny Dykes got tossed in this game.
He got tossed out of the game? I did not see this.
Yep. So they're doing the two unsportsmanlike conducts for coaches. They get tossed. You get the warning, and then you get tossed.
Okay, so
he was like yelling at the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah, not having it. So he got tossed. TCU's in a weird spot.
Emotionally, everything.
Also, good win for SMU. Kind of righting the ship here.
Yeah.
Libibity 35, ECU 24. Almost had him. We almost had him.
Yeah. I'll tell you, Jim, I keep hearing this ECU team is the most improved team in the country.
Well, they almost had him. They almost. Not doing it, though. Western Kentucky 26, Toledo 21, and thus the MAC's chances are completely eliminated. I also think Western Kentucky's a good team.
Yeah.
Since getting beat the hell out of by Alabama, this team has just been on a tear.
Yeah. They were a team that we were pretty high on coming into this. So yeah, of course they were going to get spanked by Alabama, but yeah, it seems like teams aren't letting one loss to Alabama turn into two or three losses on the schedule this year. Like, it seems like people who have lost to Alabama have rebounded at least well enough.
Yeah, I agree. And Toledo, I think, is a good team, too. They're going to be battling for the MAC. I'll say it again. I say it every year, I feel like. If you want a conference race to follow that doesn't mean anything besides winning the conference, watch the MAC because it's like a blender. It's crabs in a barrel.
Just pulling each other down, man.
Just
pulling each other to the bottom.
Florida State 14, my Cal Bears 9.
This was just a cracker of a offensive firework game, man. How does this football game happen in this day and age? 14-9.
Well, turnovers 1, and then red zone inefficiency 2.
Was Florida State favored in this still?
Yes, they were. They were, I believe, a 2.5, 3-point favorite.
So they even covered? Oh man.
They covered, yeah. They covered the spread. Cal's still sitting at 3-1, having a good season. I still believe in this team. They are hopefully in position for potential bounce back. So they get a bye this week.
Yeah.
And then they host Miami at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right. That's going to be
That's going to be must watch for me.
It's going to be as electric as Berkeley gets. And I'm not sure how electric Berkeley actually gets.
I think weirdly sometimes it does.
I've seen it kind of electric for basketball games, I think, but
They'll turn it up for Stanford every once in a while, but I feel like there's something weird about Cal this year.
God, their Twitter.
People are in.
The people are in, and their Twitter is undefeated.
I'm all in. I can't wait till next week. Miami 50, USF 15.
Yeah, I guess USF was the contradiction to what I said earlier about taking an Alabama loss and letting it turn into 2.
Yeah, I think Miami's also a really good team, though.
That's fair, yeah.
Iowa 31, Minnesota 14. One of the best running backs in the country, Caleb Johnson. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Unlocked. I've said it, but I said it earlier in the show. I'm just out on Cade McNamara being anything but bad. He's just bad.
Just if anything, he should aspire to be a game manager.
If anything.
If anything.
Tennessee 25, Oklahoma 15. Tennessee did not dominate through the air or just on offense. This Tennessee defense and their run game, they can win multiple ways. I am fully on the wagon of the Tennessee Volunteers.
I'm right there with you. I can only see we only see 2 more losses on the schedule. That was a tough win.
And those aren't guaranteed losses.
And this is such a quality win to hang your hat on as a program too.
Yeah, this is an Oklahoma team who I believe has a really good defense. Offense not quite there, but it's never easy to go win in Norman.
No.
Ole Miss 52, Georgia Southern 13. Ole Miss does what Ole Miss does.
Yep.
Boston College 23, Michigan State 19. I will say this, Michigan State will be a very fun team to watch, continue to be. Aiden Childs is like a slot machine at quarterback.
Yeah.
Because what did he... whether or not he's going to throw a great throw or a pick is kind of up in the air. He went 17 for 35, 241, and 3 interceptions in this game.
A lot of valuing the ball there, it sounds like.
It's I'm excited to see them. I think they play Ohio State coming up. Colorado 38, Baylor 31 in overtime.
With
crazy ending to a game.
Crazy ending, yeah.
A failed Hail Mary into a successful Hail Mary into an overtime touchdown into Travis Hunter being maybe the best player in college football, ripping the ball out of Baylor right at the goal line.
Who do you think, who's leading? Where is Travis Hunter in the Heisman odds right now?
Let's see what the odds are right now. Yahoo, we'll go with Yahoo Sports. He's number 11. He's plus 2,500, so he's up there with Miller Moss, USC's quarterback. Asha Genty's a little bit higher. Will Howard for Ohio State's up there at plus 2,000. Carson Beck's still up there. Quinn Ewers at 14-1. Dylan Gabriel somehow still 10-1.
Amazing.
Nico at plus 900. Jalen Milroe plus 700. Jackson Dart plus 550. And then Cam Ward, the leader right now.
Don't you think that Travis
Hunter's a better football player than all these guys.
Right, which should equate to him winning a Heisman, you know?
It should.
Yeah.
His stats right now, 37 receptions for 472 yards, 5 touchdowns, 14 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception.
That's just absurd, dude. Not only that, just like weeks. Yeah, he's got a season stat line through 4 weeks. Yeah.
And the amount of snaps he plays, dude.
If he was a Madden player, he'd just be doing that little roll around on the ground thing because he's injured because he's played so many snaps.
You can't
let's have him return kickoffs while we're at it. Why not?
You can't make a player like him in NCAA 25.
No. He will break. Yeah.
BYU 38, Kansas State 9.
So now I have to watch a BYU game.
Yeah, this just got away. So it was kind of like K-State had the shot to go up at half.
Yeah.
And then guess what? They let BYU score. And then BYU, once the second half starts, they just run away with this thing. And just score. Avery Johnson's worst game of his career. He's young. He'll be fine. Yeah, utter domination by the Cougs of BYU.
So I'll have to check it out. What I remember from last season is that they catch everything. They have wide receivers that just catch everything that's thrown their direction. Do they still have this? Are they still
They do have Chase. They still have just dudes at wide receiver.
Just 30-year-old dudes who can just snatch it out of the air.
Okay, let me see if there. Okay, here's a awesome scenario, and I want this so bad. So they play at Baylor. Probable win. Bye week, Arizona at home. Tough. Winnable, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma State at home. Winnable. At UCF. Tough to go play in Florida.
Yeah.
But winnable. I want them to win the next 4, be undefeated, because November 9th, they play at Utah.
So a holy war that really actually means something would be
game day potentially.
Sick. That would be a pretty tame game day, but yeah.
I don't know. Utah gets a little rowdy. I think the Utes do.
The Utes.
I think there's some real hate there.
Yeah, man. All right.
And then last but not least, Hawaii 36, Northern Iowa 7. I just wanted to mention that to strike at my heart, Nebraska fans, one more time. Hawaii beat Northern Iowa by more than we did. So,
oof, that's tough to That's tough to think about. Tough to manage.
It's tough. Going through the NFL real quick. Jets 24, Patriots 3.
Yeah, the Patriots are bad, and whenever they can't run the football, they can't really do much of anything. Got to see Drake May a little bit, at least.
And the Jets are really good.
Pretty good, yeah.
The defense is good.
Defense is very good.
And Aaron Rodgers is fine. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Giants 21, Browns 15.
How do you let this happen? The Browns, and how do you almost let the Browns back into this? The Giants.
Well, A, they're the Browns. B, they're the Giants.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I also shout out Sports Gambling Podcast. Shout out Kramer, and the Close Your Eyes special, because that's what got me. I made 3 bets this week. I bet on the Giants, I bet on the Panthers, and I bet on the Dolphins, and only one of those bets lost.
There you go. That's a nice little.
Packers 30, Titans 14.
Dude, in the Malik Willis revenge game, how does he go off? Just goes out there and just like runs through Tennessee.
Do you just feel like if anybody puts on a Packers uniform, they could be a quarterback?
I think I could. Like easily, yeah.
It's just something about that uniform.
I would have some sort of like big cheesy burger named after me too. I'd be that good of a quarterback.
Also, just a fun, like, took someone's job sort of game for Will Levis taking Malik Willis's job, but also Malik Willis taking Sean Clifford's job as the backup in Green Bay, and Sean Clifford having taken Will Levis's job back at Penn State.
Okay.
Very fun triangle going on here.
Yeah, there's a lot of animosity. Also, hopefully a lot of love still in there somewhere. Yeah.
I think so.
Oh, sexy.
Also, Tennessee, like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Will Levis might not be that dude.
Shocking. Crazy. Crazy. Chase,
Turns
I feel like
out,
you've been saying this since he was, like, coming out of Kentucky.
Turns out Will Levis might not be that dude.
I think Will Levis will look really good in a Memphis Showboats uniform. I
think you're probably right.
Colts 21, Bears 16.
This Bears team, well, the Bears team isn't bad, but this offense is bad.
This O-line is like the worst in the league.
Right, and Caleb Williams like can't do what he was doing in college. Like there were a couple of times where I saw him literally just like spin in a circle and just throw a ball, like without even really looking at where it was going. So he's got to figure it out to where he's not running around like that, because he's can't make the same stuff happen. He's gonna get himself in trouble.
He's gonna get himself hurt, but I think he showed some things in this game that I believe in, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's the Caleb Williams I expect. Also, I just feel like eventually we're gonna come to a head in Indianapolis that Anthony Richardson's just not gonna be the guy.
I don't think he is. I think he'd throw the ball a country mile, but I don't think he's the guy.
No, he's the Uncle Rico of the NFL, like the actual Napoleon Dynamite Uncle Rico, where he can just bomb it and
over the mountains.
But he can't. He doesn't have the decision making of a quarterback.
No,
he did it in college. We saw this at Florida.
Right. It was always shocking to me that he got drafted so high after what we saw at Florida.
But damn it, dude! I want what I would love, my dream scenario for him: have him as a backup, bring him in for like 3 plays a game, and just have him throw it 80 yards.
Who knows? Maybe he could be the next Rex Grossman. Rex Grossman took a Chicago team to a Super Bowl, man, and with just that "fuck it, I'm going deep" mentality. Rex Grossman was the original Jameis Winston.
If we can, if he does that, I'll be back on his train. But until then, I'm out. I'm still out.
Because it sure is pretty when he throws that deep ball.
Dude, the deep ball is so pretty. Vikings 34, Texans 7. I'm just gonna say it right now. Vikings right now, best team in the NFL.
And turns out that Sam Darnold's knee isn't injured, so like that could keep going on too.
Dude, Brian Flores is running a clinic on how to just fucking manage a defense right now.
Yeah, like the way he disguises his blitzes and his coverages and everything is pretty nasty.
But remember, our curse, I'm calling it. If you agree, dude, I don't know if you agree, but I'm saying that the Minnesota Vikings right now are the best team in the NFL.
So they're doomed because of our curse.
They do play the Packers next week.
That's going to be a really good football game.
It's going to be a really good game.
Because they should have Jordan Love back next week.
They should, I think. He suited up a little bit for this one, but he obviously didn't play.
Yeah, no, I think they have an actual like Jordan Love ready to go for that game. So
that'll be fun.
Be pretty good. Yep.
Eagles 15, your Saints 12. Back down to earth a little bit. We were riding high.
We were riding really high. We still have scored 100 points in the first 3 games. That's fair. That's good however you slice it,
I think so too. I still think you guys are a really good team.
Yeah. We just didn't win the line of scrimmage like we did. Like the outside zone run wasn't really working for Kamara the way that it had been like leading into that game. So I don't know. It was disappointing because Atlanta essentially did the exact same thing that we wanted to do to them. and I figured that we just have that success right off the bat,
Chase,
doing the same thing.
If you do it against Atlanta next week, kind of makes up for it.
That's true. That's a big one.
That'll be a big game. That'll be a fun one too. Steelers 20, Chargers 10. The Steelers defense, we said it, the Steelers are NFL Iowa, and they're doing the best job of any Iowa that's ever Iowa'd.
It's true. It's true. They're very Iowa-y, except I think Justin Fields is turning into a dude a little bit.
I'm saying, like, they're doing it the best way because they have an actual quarterback.
Oh, so
Justin
this is
Fields has improved every week.
They're like the C.J. Beathard Iowa, then.
Yeah. They're like an Iowa who actually has a pretty damn good offense and a super mean defense. The Steelers are going to, I don't know, what their win total was what, like 7 and a half, 8?
It was like 8.5.
How do you not pound that over?
I took the over because I mean, he always finishes over 500, which is 9-8.
They're gonna make the playoffs. I don't know, dude. This team's
from what I've seen, they could be the best team in the AFC North because I mean, I'm looking right now and I'm seeing another team in the AFC North getting kind of handled by Washington on Monday night. So
hey, dude, Jaden Daniels, that dude.
He might be.
You know what? They are the best team in the AFC North. I'm gonna say it right now.
All right, so they're gonna lose.
Oh no, we don't know if that we haven't done it with conferences yet.
That's true. So we don't know if that's the case. I'll agree with you. This might be the kiss of death. I'll agree with you and say that they are the best team in the AFC North.
Broncos 26, Bucks 7. Both NFC South favorites kind of came to a little come down to earth moment for both of them.
Yeah, maybe smelling themselves just a little bit too much. I don't know what to
also
say.
Went off.
Bo Nix went berserk. I don't know what to say outside of that. Was that Bo Nix played extremely well. Still, didn't throw a touchdown pass though, did he?
I don't think so.
Because I think Caleb Williams was the first one.
He was the first rookie. He was the first rookie to throw a touchdown pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's funny though. Still, come down to earth. Panthers 36, Raiders 22.
Can't lose that game if you're the Raiders.
Oh, you bring in the red rifle. What do you expect?
What do you expect? I think
it's kind of balled out, dude.
Yeah, yeah. And I would like to say for the record once again that I once passed Andy Dalton in a airport.
Andy Dalton, 26 for 37 for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Dude, how little faith did they have in Bryce Young maybe they knew all along that all they needed was just someone better than Bryce Young and they were going to be good.
Maybe it'll be good for Bryce Young to sit.
I think it'll be good for him to sit. There was a lot of pressure on him. He's such a little guy. It might be better for him to be taller and heavier. That might be better for him too.
Yeah, maybe he should get some knee surgery.
Yeah.
Seahawks 24, Dolphins 3. I'm going to say I just turned this one off. I liked him at K-State. What are we doing trotting out Skyler at this point?
You got to sign or trades. Yeah, you got to sign somebody. Or you might be rolling out with Tim Boyle.
And then they also signed, what's his name, who used to be up in Baltimore?
Tyler Huntley. Snoop.
Yeah, we got Tyler Huntley as well. At this point, I'm kind of in the Dolphins should be 0-3.
Yeah, you should.
And we're kind of just burn it all down. I'm ready to burn it.
Yeah.
I'm not fire McDaniels, burn it. I am fire Greer. I've fire this GM who's been with us for a few staffs and has having crushes on old aging superstars, getting rid of young talent and not building. For the last 4 years, they have told us we're not worried about offensive line right now. We think we're in a good spot. And for 4 years now, the offensive line has been abysmal.
Yeah, and all that's happened is that your quarterback has since been power concussed.
A bajillion concussions.
A bajillion times.
I'm over it. Let Tua retire, trade everybody, burn it all down.
I'll have you know that I still feel optimistic about my team.
You should. You should. Your team has hope. Your team has chances.
Yeah.
Your team has not had a concussion, a walking concussion at quarterback.
That's true. He is a walking traumatic brain injury at this point.
I would just at this point trade everyone for anything you can.
Yep.
Get a lot of picks. You're in for a long season.
Yeah.
Rams 27, 49ers 24.
Everyone is hurt for the 49ers. No one learned anything from this
Everyone's
game.
hurt for the Rams too.
So maybe the Rams are a little bit deeper team than the 49ers, but I think the 49ers ceiling is way higher.
I agree with you there. This is kind of like a Sean McVay throwing everything out there game.
Yeah. Ravens
28, Cowboys 25.
It wasn't even that close to either.
No, it wasn't. This is finally the game that Derrick Henry gets to go off.
Yeah, and you kind of think they had to be licking their chops after what Kamara did last week, so they got exactly what they wanted.
And damn, did it feel good. Lions 20, Cardinals 13.
Yeah, the Lions are good at football, it turns out. Unfortunately, they lose Sam Laporta, but pretty good football team.
Pretty good football team. And I think I'm still fairly decently high-ish on the Cardinals, so that's a good win for Detroit.
Yeah.
Chiefs 22, Falcons 17.
They got us again. The refs did, and the damn Chiefs, they got us again.
It feels like it's not just obviously it feels like it's every bounce, it's every luck, it's every call, everything goes the Chiefs' way.
Yeah, it's time to hate them. It's time. It is like that is the universe telling you it is time to absolutely despise a team. And I'm about there. I'm
there. We can hate the Chiefs. We can
fucking hate the Chiefs.
I'm excited for Xavier Worthy. He's a fun prospect. I hate the Chiefs.
I hate the Chiefs. Tired. I'm sick of the Chiefs.
I'm over them. There's a couple teams I hate. The Chiefs are on there.
It's hard to do because we used to love them.
It's hard to hate Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to be honest, but I hate the Chiefs. It's just it's the thing I do hate. So I don't know if I hate the Chiefs as an organization. I hate the coverage of the Chiefs by a lot of announcers and media. And I do hate that it does feel like they get every call.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate Brittany Mahomes.
I hate Jackson and Brittany Mahomes.
Yeah. Like they make them easier to hate.
Also, congratulations to the Bills. I'm officially calling that game.
Yeah, I think that one's done.
Bills are good. Bills are real good. They're fun too. They're a fun fucking team.
Can you believe the spread in that one was only 4.5?
That's kind of crazy. I don't think the Jags are very good.
There have been some blowouts that I feel like you don't typically see. Like,
it does feel that way
for this season. It seems like at least early there have been some big time blowouts, like bigger than you would expect in the NFL.
And if the Commanders hold on, big win for them.
Yeah, huge loss for Cincinnati, going 0-3.
They always start so slow.
Yeah, but 0-3 is slower than 0-2. Like they usually have it figured out by week 3.
I'll tell you this: they can't lose week 4. They play the Panthers next week, dude. You can't. Bengals. Andy Dalton revenge game. Oh my god!
They're totally gonna lose, dude.
Oh my
Andy
god,
Dalton revenge game. They're gonna be 0-4.
Oh,
I can think of someone whose head will explode too whenever that happens, and that makes me kind of happy.
That's crazy. That's nuts. That's beautiful. Chase, anything else you want to hit on before we get out of here?
No, I'm good.
It's a great weekend of football coming up, folks.
Yep.
Both college and the NFL. There's some great matchups. What did I see? We talked about you guys at Falcons. Steelers at Colts is going to be the game to me is Vikings at Green Bay.
Most definitely. That's
That's
a huge football game. And then we've got Georgia and Alabama.
Oh, and Sunday Night Football will be Bills at Ravens.
I think the Ravens will get smoked, but
I think so, but I think it'll be fun, potentially.
yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Go follow that man, Ed of Oaklawn, everywhere. Go follow his podcast at Notorious OTB. Give me a follow at XFL Jim everywhere. Lots going on. CFL streams every Friday. We love it. We love seeing you there, and we will see you guys next time for another episode of the Jim